So how did your deal with Pendulum come about? Did you guys have a bidding war or?
Pendulum Records, man. Shout out to Ruben Rodriguez. Pendulum Records came about through our deal with Marley Marl. Shout out to the legendary DJ Marley Marl. I want to say mogul in the early, late 80s, early 90s. Marley was like the Russell Simmons. But when we went to Shaw University, one of DJ Lord Jazz good friends was a brother by the name of Derek L.A. Jackson, who was graduating from Shaw University. Mm-hmm. And his cousin just happened to be Marley Marl. Wow. So he said, when I graduate, he told Lord Jazz, when I graduate, I want you to find a group because I'll be working for my cousin Marley. And maybe I can give him a demo tape. And that's exactly what he did. So while we were in school, we were rhyming at all of the parties and on the radio station. And Lord Jazz said, look, I need to put you and Funkee Man together. Well, he wasn't called Funkee Man at the time. Al Tariq and Dupre. Let me put y'all two together. Let's form a group. He sent them to Marley Marl. Marley Marl loved it. To fast forward, he started shopping our demo. Went into Ruben Rodriguez's office at Pendulum Records and Electra Building, at the WIA Building. And at this time, Ruben Rodriguez had just turned down Shy, the group Shy.
Wow.
He had just turned down the Wu-Tang Clan.
Wow.
So we didn't think, you know what I mean? And I knew the Wu-Tang was rocking with the cassettes in Harlem, and I thought they were the next, as they showed to be. So I didn't know he was going to pick us, but Marley put in the tape and played it for a guy who was the A&R by the name of Charles Dixon, Sir Mixon Dixon, DJ Charles Dixon. And he heard it, and Ruben heard it, and was like, what is that? No, put that back in. And that's how we got signed, man, to Pendulum Records.
Dope. So here we are, 2018. Your debut album, Here Come the Lords, recently celebrated the 25th anniversary.
Well, September 27th, I believe, is the actual.
Oh, this year?
Yeah.
Okay, so not
25th.
quite.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what are some of your greatest memories of making that album that you can remember?
Man, just being a young adult, just leaving teenage years. I believe I was 18, just turned 19 when we signed that deal, and just being a young teenager who gets the opportunity to live out his dreams, and be part of something that you love to do. Right. It's a different being part of something that you really want to do and love to do, and you don't have to do, but you love to do it, and be able to change your family's life from it. So that's the biggest memory, and building a bond. Like, people don't understand, I didn't really know Funkee Man or Lord Jazz before then.
Right.
So now you thrust three individuals who don't know each other, they don't really come up together,
right,
into a situation that's going to change all three of their lives. So that's a tough task, especially when economics gets into it, and leaving your family and going on the road with these strangers for months that turn into years. And now we've become like family. They're like my brothers, ups and downs. We want to fight each other sometimes.
Definitely.
But
you work it out at the end of the day.
Yeah, man, because it's like the old saying, you can pick your friends, but you can't pick your family. And that's what it's sort of turned into with Lords of the Underground members.
Dope. So you get done with your first album, you go into your second album. What kind of adjustments, or what did you learn going into your second album?
Hindsight is always 20/20, right? So going into Keepers of the Funk after coming out of Here Come the Lords, we were still on the road. We had like 6 singles off of Here Come the Lords. So we were still on the road. And then we had things that wasn't even released. So one day, while Here Come the Lords was happening, Marley and Ruben and our management, Hafiz and Derek, they said, you guys got to go to Chicago. And we didn't come home for like a year. So you tell these young guys, yeah, I need you to come here, and then they don't come home for such a long time. So to answer your question, the adjustments and the difference between Here Come the Lords and Keepers of the Funk, we didn't have a time to sit down and to get into album mode, because we were on the road. And back then, albums were different. You were on 2-inch tapes, big reels.
Right.
You had producers were getting so much money from producing your joints, and you have to acquire the music from cassette tapes or DATs. Really wasn't CDs yet.
Right.
That came a little later, maybe second album. There was so many different things. You have to get ready for press. You have to photo shoots and all of this type of stuff. but we were on the road still from Here Come the Lords.
Right.
And I believe we went into that album while on the road and just made it while we were on the road, still dealing with Here Come the Lord. So we had no break. We just did it because they said it was time for another album.
Right.
You know, and a lot of times we have to remember that these record companies are businesses.
They want
their bottom line.
Right.
So I believe they rushed us into that second album, and we weren't finished with the first one yet.
Gotcha.
So being young and being naive and being, you know, a newbie, you know, a neophyte in the game, we reacted like one when we made the second album. We didn't have time to really kind of harness our experiences into an album. We just kind of fast fooded it while we were on the road with Here Come the Lords.
Right.
Still did well, still went gold, but it's supposed to win double. It's supposed to have been greater than our first one.